Tony Dillon, Dennis O'Donovan, Mike Dillon, Liam Ryan, Jimmy Burke, Jimmy Loney. And the subs for John Hayes.
That was a team you think that these young boys could emulate in a couple of years' time?
No problem, with a bit of commitment, and I think we'll get that eventually with the commitment we have at the moment in the club.
Well, with officers like yourself and Paddy here in command, I think that's a commitment should surely be forthcoming. And thank you both for speaking with me and telling me all about the juvenile club in Effin here.
Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to air our views on North Cork local radio.
Thank you again. In here with us, and he's singing a song this time, Londonderry.
I know a wee spars of great fame, and it lies toward the north, and I'll tell you its name. It's my own native birthplace, and 'tis all I reside, far away from London and Derry, on the banks of the Fine. I worked hard, no, I was young, I was foolish, like the rest of the boys. I had no great sorrow, nor yet many joy. I worked hard for a living, and hard did I toil, far away from London and Derry, on the banks of the Fine. I then took a notion for to cross o'er the sea, to try make a fortune for Mary and me. A fortune I'll gain by, and 'tis homeward I'll go, to my own native birthplace, to a wee girl I know. I'll build her a mansion, and 'tis all I reside, far away from London and Derry, on the banks of the Fine.
By now by the gentleman that organised all this great night here, along with John O'Keefe. John Murphy is the gentleman in question, no strangers indeed to listeners out there around North Cork and South Limerick and County Limerick. John, was it a big job at organising this night? You've got great talent along. Did you think there was such talent in the parish of Effin?
Well, I know that was there, Jimmy, but there's one particular man where that I must really give the higher praise to, and that's my neighbour, Jack Keefe. Really and truly.
Jack and yourself, you got together on the effort and it worked out very well.
Well, there is no better than him. Really and truly.
You put a lot of time into it, John. It took quite a few weeks to organise it all.
It took a few weeks, all right, Jimmy, but certainly it came up trumps in the finish.
And can you see other nights in the future, possibly? You'll bring us back to Effin to do recordings like tonight?
Possibly again, Jimmy. Possibly again.
John, you have a nice song for us here tonight.
I have, Jimmy. The Banks of the Roses. I don't know where all, every song's like that. I think feels like where the love comes into it.
John, maybe that's all due to a lady that's sitting quite near to us here, your wife Mary.
Well, that was a team that I hated one time, and that was Tipperary. I hated the sight of them. But no, I absolutely adore them.
I believe she's the boss, John, that she changed you completely from being a staunch Limerick man to... I heard the last day that Tip were playing Limerick that you were nearly shouting for Tip. Is that true? I can hardly believe it.
Well, I wouldn't say so, Jim.
You wouldn't say it has gone that far.
It didn't gone that far yet, just it didn't.
But it's heading in that direction.
Yeah?
You're singing all these love songs, sir. It's not a good sign.
Well,
It's a great sign, I suppose.
Well, certainly, she's the boss in this, she's the boss of this. When I get out, she said to me tonight, she said, you're coming, she said, you better include, she said, some sort of a love song again. She said, right?
You can't beat a good love song, John.
No, Jimmy.
John, in your own time there.
The Banks of the Roses.
The Banks of the Roses.
Come on, Mary. Come on up here, Up here, Mary. On the banks of the roses, my love and I sat down, and I took out me fiddle for to play me love a tune. In the middle of the tune, oh, she sighed and she said, oh, Johnny, lovely Johnny, would you let me? Oh, when I was a young lad, I heard me father say he'd rather see me dead than buried in the clay, sooner than be married to any runaway by the lovely sweet banks of the roses. On the banks of the roses, me love and I sat down, and I took out me fiddle for to play me love a tune. In the middle of the tune, oh, she sighed and she said, oh, Johnny, lovely Johnny, would you leave me? And if ever I get married, 'twill be in the month of May, and me true love will kiss and court and play by the lovely sweet banks of the roses. On the banks of the roses, me love and I sit down, and I took out me fiddle for to play me love a tune. In the middle of the tune, oh, she sighed and she said, oh, Johnny, lovely Johnny, would you let me?
With another love song, would you believe? And he's dedicating it specially to Mary again on this occasion. It's called Love is Teasing.
For love is teasing, and love is pleasing, and love is a pleasure when first it's new. But as love grows colder, sure love grows older, and fades away like the morning dew. I left my father, I left my mother, I left all my friends and relations too. I left the side of my grave companions, I left them all for to follow you. And love is pleasing, and love is a pleasure when first it's new. But as love grows colder, sure love grows older, and fades away like like the morning dew.
And although she says she's married to a Cork man, she'll never let down her native county Limerick. The song is all about Limerick. It's called Limerick, You're a Lady.
Limerick, you're my lady, your Shannon waters, tears of joy did flow. The beauty that surrounds you, I'll take it with me, love, where'er I go. While waking in the arms of distant waters, and you there finds me far away from home. But Limerick, you're my lady, the one true love that I had ever known. As children, you and I played endless games of fun in winter's snow or summer's golden sun. We fished in silver streams, the fabric of my dreams was fashioned by your loveliness, and so I have to say, Limerick, you're my lady, your Shannon waters, tears of joy that flow. The beauty that surrounds you, I'll take it with me, love, where'er I go. While waking in the arms of distant waters, and you there finds me far away from home. But Limerick, you're my lady, the one true love that I had ever known.
We have Veronica O'Shea and we have Mary McGrath, and along with them is Margo Crean, and they have some nice music and song for us now, starting with Don't Let Me Cross Over.
Don't let me cross over love's cheating line. You belong to another, you'll never be mine. No one step closer will be heaven divine. Don't let me cross over love's cheating line. Tempted, my darling, to steal you away. So help me, my darling, stay out of my way. You know that I love you, but I'm not the cheating kind. I'm faced with a heartache at love's cheating line. Don't let me cross over love's cheating line. You belong to another, you'll never be mine. I know one step closer will be heaven divine. Don't let me cross over love's cheating line.
Did you sing one day?
Was on a dreary New Year's Eve as the shades of night came down. A lorry load of volunteers approached a border town. There were men from Dublin and from Cork, Fermanagh and Tyrone, but the leader was shone south from Garryon, and as they marched along the street up to the barrack doors, they scorned the dangers they would meet, their fate that lay in store. They were fighting for old Ireland to claim their very own, and the foremost of that gallant band was south from Garryon. But the sergeant spoiled their daring plans, he spied them through the door. The stem guns and the rifles too, a hail of death did pour. And when that awful night had passed, 2 men lay as cold as stone. There was one from near the border, and one from Garryon. No more he'll heed a seagull's cry, or the murmuring Shannon tide, for he fell beneath the northern sky, brave Hanlon at his side. He has gone to join that gallant band of Plunkett, Pearce and Tone, a martyr for old Ireland, shone south from Garryon.
Now I'm joined by Anna Maria Kennedy, and she's going to tell us about a very famous man from Effin. I suppose you couldn't leave Effin without getting account of this great man. He's, of course, brother Russell. And Stephen Russell, he had appeared in the Late Late Show and several times on television and radio. So, Anne Maria, you might give us a short rundown of his life and the time he spent in Effin.
Brother Stephen Russell. He was born at Thomastown, Kimella, County Limerick on Christmas Day in 1911. He was educated at Christian Brothers School in Charleville, to which he either walked or travelled in a donkey's buggy with 6 or 7 other people, each day a distance of 3.5 miles. He joined the Irish Army at the start of World War II in 1939 and served in the 1st Cycle Squadron, being stationed in Collins Barracks, Cork, Fermoy, Fines, Listowel and Sarsfield Barracks in Limerick. He was well known and popular as a comedian in the Southern Command Entertainment Group. At the end of the emergency, he was discharged from the army in 1943. He joined the congregation of the Alexian Brothers in Warrenpint, County Down, in September 1945. He reached the habit on the feast of St. Alexis, 17th of July 1946, and was professed on the 17th of July 1948. Transferred to the novitiate of the Alexian Order in Cove, County Cork in 1948, and helped in the establishment of the foundation of the novitiate house there. Transferred to the Alexian Monastery in Mostoon Cemetery, the largest Catholic cemetery in the United Kingdom, where he spent the next 3 years burying the dead, for which purpose the Alexian Order was originally found. He was later transferred to Henry Chapelle in Belgium in 1954, where he served on the nursing staff for 3 years. It was while Brother Stephen was in Belgium he started writing poetry and sent it regularly to the Limerick Leader and later to the Limerick Weekly Echo. He returned to Park Royal, London in 1957, where he served on the night staff for a period of 2 years. In 1961 he returned to Ireland as vocational promoter of the Alexian Brothers and spent 4 years travelling all over Ireland, visiting schools, seeking out postulants for the order. He was transferred back to Manchester in 1965, where he served on the nursing staff. It was there in Manchester in 1973, where he worked for the homeless and destitute. And he volunteered with her brother Anthony Fair to fulfil the request by the late Dr. Murphy, Bishop of Limerick, to help the continuity of staffing the Simon Community Hostel at Charlotte Quay in Limerick, which had been established some 3 to 4 years previously. His first book of poems, There But For the Grace of God, was published in 1972, and Brother Russell donated the entire proceeds of his sale to the Simon Community Building Fund. And I'll now read one of his poems. It's called Down on One Knee at the Door. I am a small farmer in Effin, in a townsland that is called Ballymac. It is a great rush to Mass on Sunday, for it's nearly 8 miles there and back. What with the cows to be milked just at daybreak, and a gallop to the creamery and store. It's a matter of split-second timing, so I'm drop on one knee at the door. I have worn out about a dozen young curates, and of parish priests not a few, for they all did their best but unavailing to push me right up to the front pew. Sure my father, he knelt there before me, and his father before. So there like a rock I keep kneeling, down on one knee at the door. Now it is not that I am lukewarm, in my own way I feel quite close to God, and I do all my best to serve him, on the way that his own son had trod. And when he is raised up at the elevation, with love my poor heart it does soar, then I whisper, "Oh Master, I love you," even though I am down on one knee at the door. Once, when the church there was a mission, the preacher came racing outside, and all the Shonines clustered round me, melted away like a tide. But there I kept firmly rooted, as solid as a pile on the shore, and the good father just smiled and said, "Bless you." So I stayed on one knee at the door. All the others have got their fine motors. I have my old creamery cart. But when Mass is nearly over, I'm away to a real flying start. With my pony flat out on a gallop, I say a dozen aves or more, and I hope that appeases the Master for being down on one knee at the door. I love my sweet farm in Effin, but I am not one bit afraid to face death, and I am always quite ready to meet it. Sure, it will be my first holiday on earth. And if I find heaven all crowded, I will do as I did here before. I will say to St. Peter, "This will suit me," then I shall drop on one knee at the door.
Piece of poetry and a great rundown in Brother Russell's life. Brother Stephen there.
Farewell, my country, a long farewell. My tale of anguish no tongue can tell. For I'm forced to fly o'er the ocean wide, from the home I love by Loch Sheelan side. How proud was I of my girl so fair, I was envied most by the young men there. When I brought her back, a bashful bride, to my cottage home by Loch Sheelan side. Farewell, my love. Oh, gee, I'm gone to hell altogether. Sorry.
I would like to thank you all for coming here tonight voluntarily. And I would also like to thank North Cork as well as coming on and recording you here. Well, this programme would not be possible except for one man that done a right research for the parish of Effin here, and I would like you to put your hands together and give a big round of applause to John Keefe.
For organising it with a great night with you, and we'll be going out in about 6 or 7 weeks over the year, and sometime in the future we hope you'll invite us back again 12 months or so, or maybe less, and we have a similar night. Thank you all for such great sports and coming along and talking with us and playing music and singing your songs.
Now is the hour when we must.
They're only testing, they're only testing.
No, John.
Right when you.
Yeah. I do. I can, yeah. And so we've come to the last item for the night, and we have John Murphy, the chief organiser, and he's going to lead a sing-song here, and the first number is Now is the Hour, and we'll have Mary McGrath and Veronica O'Shea on their accordions, and all the people here will join in.
One Margaret. Come on, Margaret. Come on, Margaret. Wait, Mary. Now is the hour when we must say goodbye. Soon I'll return far across the sea. While I'm away, oh please remember me. When I return, you'll find me waiting here. Good luck, good health.
In his hands he's got the whole world. In his hands he's got the whole world. In his hands he's got the whole world in his hands. Uni brother. In his hands he's got the uni brother. In his hands.